541, you're live.
Hey, Tim.
Hey,
Hey, Tim. Hey, H.A. It's Joe calling from Oregon.
Joe
How
from
you guys
Oregon. What's
doing?
up, brother?
Listen, I wanted to get your reaction about the Obama years.
God.
And from the very beginning, I'm just wondering if you could talk a little bit about what your reaction is to the effects of the Obama administration on our foreign policy. Now, one of the first things that Hillary Clinton did, and I know that you guys may not know this. I forget the gentleman who was the premier. They had their second free election. I think it was Hyderabadi or something like that, and he lost the election. It was the people's will that he not win, and Obama overrode that election on Hillary Clinton's advice to keep that Shia dictator in power who had the killing squads going out creating ISIS.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point forward, I'm thinking these people did this on purpose. They actually created an entity so they can sell weapons, create strife, and create war. And I saw that in 2009, what they were doing. And I just was wondering if particularly, I was just wondering if you guys are picking up on that right away, because I was very, very, very upset about what Obama has done to our country. Very upset.
All right,
and
Joe.
I've been voting Democrat since Kennedy. So,
Gotcha.
I'm 74, as you know, Tim.
Yes, brother,
So,
I know, man.
What are your thoughts?
Wow, Joe, give it up for Joe, man. Thank you for that question, man. I think that I'll just take a quick stab at it and say, yeah, man, it's Joe, it's horrible what we've been doing in the Middle East. And yes, we have been mitigating, we have been meddling to our own devices, and we have created death squads. We have been funding ISIS before it was called ISIS. Like they didn't have that name. So yes, this is common knowledge, but I think it extends before Obama. I think we've been meddling in the Middle East for years, but he exasperated it. He amped it up to a level that Bush never achieved. And that's what Democrats do, you know. Democrats have the ability, not just on the foreign side, but on the domestic side, to do things only Republicans have wet dreams about.
Yep, exactly.
And that's what people don't get. They just don't get it. You know, they say, "Oh, Reagan was racist and Bush was racist," and then Clinton comes in and he multiplies the mass incarceration at a level that God, like Reagan's like, God, how did he get that? I can't believe it, Nancy, how he got that done. It's like because the blacks and the Latinos and the Asians, the minorities, the people of color, actually think Democrats mean them as good, but the policies are so freaking detrimental. It's like, no, they're not. And we don't realize it till it's over. So I woke up towards the end of the Obama, I woke up on the second half of Obama after he got reelected. And that's when I realized it. And that was my awakening. Look, everybody has their time. I can't be held accountable for dumb crap I thought before I woke up. But now I'm awake, brother. I ain't going back to sleep. What you think, H.A.?
Well, that's great. And I agree with you. And I'll say this. Rick Snyder, Michigan governor, how come Loretta Lynch didn't do everything possible to get this guy in jail for Flint?
Right.
So how come when you have a Democrat and you know that black people are being poisoned, your attorney general is a black woman, the president is a black man, and you have a governor that's obviously committing crimes. Mm-hmm. So why didn't Slate and the Daily Beast and MSNBC and CNN, why didn't they demand? Because if it was Sessions, could you imagine?
Not only that, where's all the black media? Where's black media? Where's Roland Martin? Where's The Root? Where's Ebony? Where are all these others? Like, they never come out on issues that they could have came out on Obama. Like very rarely, like did I ever hear anybody raise. So it's not just white media. Okay, so black media gets a little bit of pass because a lot of black media is not even owned by black people. We know that. Like this window dressing, like Ebony's owned by white folks. You know, BET owned by white folks. Got taken over a long time ago. But even black independent media didn't have much to say. So like, and we see that when TYT came at us, I'm like, it's two white guys, one black guy getting attacked by the biggest independent media network in the country, and where was my black support? It was very few. So, it's not just white or black. It's just cowards, man. People don't want to go against power. People want to maintain status quo. People too busy worried about can they get a shot? Can they get a slot on CNN? Can they get an opportunity to appear on this thing? And they don't want to speak truth to power. So that's why I don't, I get a little pissed off about it, as you can see, because it's just so sad. It's so cowardly. It's so lame. It's so lack of backbone and spine. It's so like infantile.
Infantile.
It's corny. You a sap. You a lame. A stand up. And you're right. We let it slide. Too many people let it slide. We stand up. H.A., you sent out a tweet earlier today about people who are courageous enough to stand up for Seth Rich. You're one of those people, bro. So it's not just Zach and me. It's you too. You standing up like hell.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll say this. President Obama came in when he was campaigning in 2008, and he said Iraq was a big mistake, and he wanted to go ahead, and he sounded like he wanted to reverse course on everything. And so, we can go on forever, but when you destroy Libya under the pretext of humanitarian reasons, and you say it's a mistake, that's a destruction. You help destroy a country because you did it to save people, but then more people died. And Hillary Clinton was the deciding factor. And then The Nation magazine, all these liberal publications still are okay with voting for Hillary Clinton, even though she was advised by neoconservatives. So the neoconservative, the mentality that we can go into places and make them just like us through force, that has never worked. That does not work, especially in the Middle East. And the only reason we're there is because of oil. So it just doesn't work. The Democrats, in terms of war, are just like Republicans. That's why the Democratic Party is not going to defeat Trump if they get somebody who's just as militant or more militant. So that's not going to work out. There needs to be an anti-war movement, and the Democratic Party has swallowed up. If you're anti-war, then you're labeled as a fringe type person, even though every single intervention that we engage in doesn't work out. So
right.
And Obama came in saying that Bush made a mistake, and then he continued more of those mistakes. So
said he had to do it. I got to do it. You really do?
You don't exactly.
You had to meddle in the Honduras and help stage a coup. You had to do that. That's something. We had to do what we had to do. Yep. No, we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do any of the shit that we do.
Nope.